I am an eternal optimist. So please, God, don't tell me that you're an eternal pessimist.
I like to say I'm a realist.
Oh, it's great. We're going to get along great. This is going to be great.
This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
Crowd is here, about to blow, waiting for me to start the show. Out the curtain, lights go up from home. Whoa!
He for the LCS, and there goes Ohtani. Shohei lighting up the highlights already. Oh my goodness! Shohei Ohtani! Wow! Up and over the roof! A majestic blast! Ohtani drops jaws everywhere! Ohtani, did he? Ohtani! Ohtani has done it again! His third home run!
Why do you got to start my Friday that way, Mitch?
You know what? You want some? Come get some, Dodgers. Let's go.
Jeez.
Let's go. We need that bad taste in our mouth so that when we go to AmFam Field this weekend, we are ready to roll, baby. Let's go.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. You've lit the pilot light of anger.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, we all were already cruising into Memorial Day weekend. It was too easy. We needed to remember that there is a struggle here, and it's only May, and we've got the Dodgers in town. Let's go.
The struggle is real. All right. That's the way we're going to kick it off. Boy, is he good at baseball, by the way. What's up, Wisconsin? Welcome in. Happy Friday. Happy Memorial Day weekend. Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor Thomas and Josh Albrecht, typically. But this morning, Mitch Thunder Nellis in for Josh. So good morning, Thunder. Good to see you.
What up, Big Trev? How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm really good. I'm excited for the weekend. Memorial Day weekend is always a really fun one. We'll tell you all about the plans and what's up Wisconsin weekend later in the show. Obviously, yes, the Dodgers come to Wisconsin, specifically Milwaukee, to AmFam Field this weekend. We have questions about how we view this series in comparison to getting curb stomped by them in the NLCS last year.
Not awesome.
And not awesome. Not a great. And pause. Good God, man. Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah. He's incredible.
It's a bit of a spectacle. But typically, during this segment, we pause all things and just go, hey, let's get caught up here, okay? So let's play catch up. Here we go.
All right.
Packers first.
Packers.
Yeah.
We were notified yesterday, we as in the media, that Matt LaFleur is going to talk before OTAs next week, Wednesday. I don't know how to process the off-season workout programs and the OTAs and the mini camps and the mandatory mini camps. And I understand the 2026 season has begun, but Thunder, when does it officially start for us as fans?
Oh. I mean, for some people, it's already started. The draft starts it.
True.
For other people, it's not till training camp, right? That last week of July into that first week of August. I would flip it to you, though. So you got that press release. I got that press release. If you were at the press conference, Trevor, what's the one question, what's your one curiosity that you would ask Matt LaFleur right now? If you were if it didn't have to be media speak or fan speak or anything like that, just something you're curious about, a player or someone's come back from injury or new faces, anything like that. What's that one question you'd want to ask?
Other than player control and almost like a check-in process of, hey, are you fat? Hey, are you out of shape? Or, hey, what are you doing? Fat. My question would be, what is the purpose of all of this?
Ooh, I why OTAs?
Well, that's my point, right?
Yeah.
If you want us as fans to follow along and get excited about the season, then what is the purpose of OTAs and mandatory mini camps and off-season workouts and rookie? What? I guess I just don't understand that level of football.
Right.
To go, last I checked, the preseason sucks.
Yeah. So the games themselves, you mean?
Yeah. Well, just in general. I understand that and even then the cut down thing is different in the NFL right now, where there's not 2 days. There's just one main cut down day. You don't got to get down to a specific roster.
Right.
It's just, to me as a fan, I'm going, man, is there a lot of to do about nothing, frankly?
Oh, I like that question. And I think that's a good question for our teammates, John Kuhn and Mason Crosby as well. because they, as veterans, like they didn't have to be there. And Mason would tell stories about like living in Green Bay. He would be there, but he wouldn't be there. Like he'd go into work every day. He'd hang out with the guys, but he's not actually participating because he doesn't have to participate. He's working on his own stuff. Like, and kickers are going to kick on different things, or going to work, by themselves kind of anyway. But I do wonder, like, are OTAs, is it just an extension of that rookie camp? Like, and the undrafted free agents just to get them more reps? Or is it like, are you actually implementing? Are you actually teaching? Is it more classroom so that these rookies like learn not just the plays and all that, but how to conduct themselves as professionals? Are you doing those classes too? How to manage your money?
Could be, right? Compared to our life, right? So, okay, this is their profession, and there's going to be meetings at work.
Yes.
And sometimes lots more than we ever think is worth it. Maybe that's the players' take on this too. Like, here we go. More meetings. More meetings. Meetings upon meetings upon meetings.
Meetings and meetings and meetings. Let's go. Too much.
Anyway,
too much
OTAs
sometimes.
next week. We'll learn some things. And they create stories along the way, and that excites me. I'm excited for the Packers season. I just take a step back this morning and go, okay, so yay. And let's just get to week 1 against the Vikings. It's going to be a minute.
I like that. Well, and as I look at my watch, for those of you on YouTube and Facebook and Twitter that I'm not wearing, I am wearing my girl dad bracelets though.
I like it.
I like we talk every day that it's only May for the Brewers. Well, it's only May for the Packers. It's not August, and it's not October. It's not November. So we have the luxury of time right now, right?
Yeah, and secrecy.
Yeah,
that's the problem. The Packers organization.
Yeah.
Exactly, right. So, hey, good to see you. What's new? Nothing. Got it. See you tomorrow? Perfect. All right, let's go to baseball.
Brewers.
This we have some information on.
Sure.
The Dodgers come to town starting tonight. Games today, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. But let's focus on the weekend for now. 6:40 tonight at AmFam Field. 6:15 tomorrow night, a rare Saturday night game. Hopefully the roof is open tomorrow night because there's nothing like an open roof night game at AmFam Field. I love it. Not to say that there's not more than one night game on a Saturday, but I just love the opportunity to be at AmFam at night for a game with the roof open. I think that is something that we would all look forward to. Logan Henderson on the bump tonight. Tomorrow is supposed to be that spot where our guy Brandon Woodruff would typically pitch.
Right.
It is not. It's Robert Gasser. I have questions on that. And then Brandon Sproat on Sunday. It's also, by the way, boy band night tonight.
So I have not questions. I have big feels about tonight.
Do you?
Because I'm not. That? Yeah, I'm not going. And I'm a big boy band guy.
Are you
like
really?
Backstreet, NSYNC. I am huge.
We just bonded.
Fan.
We just bonded.
Yes.
You don't know it yet, but we just bonded.
I'll
tell you more about that.
Yeah.
But should we probably talk baseball first before we jump into boy band stuff?
I like that.
Although Jeff Levering's really excited about it too, and he's pumping the T-shirt. That's the giveaway tonight.
Yep.
Brew Crew Boys.
Boys with a Z.
Z.
Love it.
Okay. First question out of the gate on the Nicolay Law talking text line, 414-677-1250.
Love it.
From the 920, it says, do you walk Ohtani every time he comes to the plate?
No.
Why?
Well, first of all, he's not hitting quite as well this year as he has in past years. If you look at, we did a whole breakdown yesterday on the Mason Crosby show about how great Kyle Henderson has been pitching. And he doesn't qualify like for the ERA lead. And so he's not on a lot of leaderboards, but if his numbers were, he'd be at the top of the board. Ohtani's even better. And Ohtani also doesn't qualify because he's pitching once a week. He's not pitching once every 5 days. So he doesn't quite qualify. But his numbers have been unbelievable. Thank goodness he pitched 2 days ago in San Diego. So he's not pitching this weekend. So we as Brewers fans, we don't get to see him pitch. But as Brewers fans, we don't have to face him. And that's kind of nice.
True. We'll take that.
But I go after him. Now, if there are any situations, 6th inning or on, of trepidation, then you walk him.
Yeah, I mean, he changes games.
Yeah.
Has the ability to anyway.
Yeah.
Not that other players don't, but Shohei Ohtani's a bit of a different gem.
I know we'll get to this later in the show, but I have a box score up here from last year. Why isn't the date at the top? It's at the bottom. I don't know. July like 8th or whatever, when Miz faced the Dodgers at AmFam Field. And Ohtani had a part in that. We know the Brewers won that game because they won all the regular season games last year.
Yeah.
But that was I'm going to bring that up later, tease for later in the show. Miz versus Ohtani.
We're going to break it down, and I have questions, plus the Malott Meets Morning Mind Dump at just how we look at the regular season games against the Dodgers in comparison to last year and go, geez, do we spend time and emotion on this? Because, boy, were we jacked that we swept them last year. And then, boy, did we get jacked in the NLCS series.
Yes, that was not great.
So in the Malott Meets Morning Mind Dump, we'll go after that in the I Have Questions portion at the top of the 7 o'clock hour. Have we seen any trends that would lead us to believe it's going to be different this season? We'll break it down for you as we continue on. But Brewers home this weekend against those Dodgers.
Badgers.
I think I hate them second most, by the way.
Yeah. I think I hate them more than the Cubs.
Ooh.
I think I do.
Hot Take Friday.
Yeah. I think I do.
Interesting. Well, we'll talk about that as we continue on.
Yeah.
But my question for the Badgers in Wisconsin athletics in general, will you set an over-under date as to when we'll meet the new Wisconsin athletic director? And then question 1B, what should that person's first list be in terms of their to-dos?
So this is how negative I am about the football program, Trevor. When you started your question, taking over under on the date we're going to meet the new athletic director, I heard set an over under on the date Luke Fickell gets fired.
Dang.
That's what I heard in my head. And I know he's on the hot seat, but they can't really make a move until they get an athletic director, right?
Right, of course.
Yeah. So
and that new athletic director won't make a move
not right
unless
away.
something is horrendous during the season.
Like
This will be
0-8.
Then you're gone for sure.
Okay. Just making sure we're on the same page there.
But how soon? They said they wanted him in place, he or she in place for the summer. It's Memorial Day weekend, brother.
We're getting close. My over-under is August 1st. I just think it's I know that's
not summer anymore.
I know. Well, it's summer, but it's not by summer. It's fully into summer, already looking that summer's like we've already spent most of our summer. I just think I think they're going to do their due diligence. I think it's going to take longer than they think it is. I have a feeling that along the way, someone's going to apply and then pull out when they realize what a mess it is and how messy the whole NIL thing is with the state and with all, and that it's not a private, all that sort of stuff. I just think it's going to take a little while. I know there's names on that list of the people who are hiring. Brian Butch isn't on that list. I don't know why. Shouldn't Butchie be on that list? I feel like
for AD.
I mean, just put on all the fun ex-athletes. Put on Joe Thomas. Put on JJ Watt. Put on right. Butchie can be on it too. Come on. You love Butchie.
I do. I love Butchie like crazy. I just don't. When I think of Butchie's experience, though, here I didn't have breaking down Brian Butch as the new athletic director at Wisconsin on my bingo
I'm saying
card.
having him on the board of the guys who help interview.
See, I get that.
I don't want Butchie as the AD. I love you, Butchie. You're not the AD. No. I want him on that list of names where it's here's the 8 guys who are, or 8 people who are,
Michael
on the
Finley's
committee.
on there.
Finley's on there. He's representing basketball, but Butchie's lives here. I want someone who lives here, who breathes it.
But Butchie also is part of the staff with Learfield and all that stuff. So I know it gets a little hairy.
Yeah.
Anyway, you say August.
I say August 1st.
It's May 22nd.
What do you want?
I say June 15th.
Ooh.
And it's gotta happen quick.
Is it going to be somebody we've ever heard of before?
I hope it's not.
Ooh, okay.
It's not that I don't think it will or won't be. It's that I hope it's not, because I want somebody to come in and just start busting teeth.
Yeah.
With no preconceived notion.
Yeah. No previous relationships. I haven't shared this with you, but I've talked about it on the Mason Crosby show. I was in classes with Chris McIntosh. We were buddies as undergrads. We still text from time to time, but he wasn't coming in with the ability to crack skulls. He was maintaining the status quo.
which I thought was part of the problem because we still have not gotten ourselves out of the Barry Alvarez umbrella. And McIntosh came in and wanted to make it his way with respect to Barry, yet we need to have Wisconsin sports go in a different direction.
We just need we just need to move into the future.
Well, we didn't need to make a U-turn.
Right. You can say that again.
Because we kind of did, especially the football. All right, June 15th, August 1st. Maybe there's a bet on Kelce we can make on this. We'll see.
There should be. You can bet on everything, right? Just not in Minnesota.
Bucks.
Well, okay, so Kelce came up in a little bit of research with the Bucks. It's different than the Potawatomi Sportsbook. So for all of you going, geez, Trev, like the whole studios are powered by the Potawatomi Sport. I know.
We love the Sportsbook.
Of course we do. What's not to love?
I mean, I love eating there. I mean, the screens are great, but the food,
I'm missing out on the food, I think.
Yeah, you got to get that.
That's what I get for living 2 hours away.
Yep.
The heat per Kelce and the ability to say who is going to get Giannis if he's not a Buck.
Yeah.
The percentages went from Heat at 22%, Bucks at 21%, Celtics at 11%,
right, to
Heat at 58%.
What?
And the Bucks stayed at 21%.
So it's like the Heat or nobody. Kind of.
Well, the Heat or here or anywhere else.
Right.
So we can read the tweets and see the packages they're putting together.
I'm not saying I said in March I called the Heat. Like, I'm not saying I said that in March, but I did say that in March. I got the receipts because they have the players and they have the picks. I'm wavering a little bit with the whole like Giannis to Boston, Jaylen Brown to Atlanta, and then all the players and picks back to Milwaukee. But the Heat are, and the question I have with the Heat then is like, can Tyler Hero play in Milwaukee, or do you have to flip him immediately? Because there's fandom, but there's also animosity for Tyler Hero.
Why is there animosity?
Because he committed to Wisconsin and then reneged on his commitment. And I get it that he went to Kentucky. Like that's great. Con Knippel didn't commit to Wisconsin and then go to Duke. He went to Duke. Great job, Con. We love the Knippels. Great. If Tyler Hero had just gone to Kentucky, I think there'd be much better feelings. But he committed to Wisconsin and then left. And I think there's still some hard feelings there among fandom.
Even in Milwaukee, though, where Marquette is ruler of the land.
It's not, though. It's not.
Really?
No, it's A and B. It's like, it's not, there's no ruler in Milwaukee. Milwaukee has its huge, I mean, there are more Badger alumni in Milwaukee than Marquette alumni.
Sure.
So
just pure math, right?
Right. Yeah. So, right. And the math factors that out, that it's like Milwaukee's both. Madison obviously is Badgers, and there are pockets of Milwaukee that are very Marquette strong, as they should be. Like respect for both.
Campus.
Yeah. Campus, some of the western suburbs, dentists and lawyers, that sort of thing.
That probably all went to Marquette.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Anything else?
I think so.
Anything else?
Yeah. Super unfortunate news
really
that came out yesterday that does not have a direct connection to Wisconsin, #inside Wisconsin, but there's the racing culture in Wisconsin is strong.
Yes.
And the first person I thought of when I saw the news yesterday was Jacob in a van, who's a huge listener of all things Wisconsin sports radio and chimes in with us here on the Nicolay Law Talk and Text line, 414-677-1250. Kyle Busch passed away insanely suddenly yesterday. It had come out yesterday morning that he was admitted to the hospital with a serious illness, a severe illness. And hours later, it came out that he had passed away. And that made anyone and everyone that's remotely close in age to Kyle Busch, like you and I, go, huh?
Right.
And after the Watkins Glen race a few weeks ago, audio came out of this. He was in his car, in communication with his team, asking for a doctor to come and see him at his bus. And what Kyle said over the radio communications was, I need him to meet me at my bus, and I need a shot.
Yes.
Now, pause. I am not anywhere remotely close to educated enough to know what I need when I'm sick. Sure, Sudafed or Tylenol, or I'll take some NyQuil. But
sure.
That puzzled me to go, what did he, like, did he know he was dealing with something and he knew that he needed a specific shot?
Right. Was it a heart? Like, was his heart going too fast and they needed to slow it down? They said in the news report that there was something with his sinuses.
Yeah, he had come out the weekend after then when he raced the next race after Watkins Glen. It was the Coca-Cola 600. Oh, that's this weekend. It was the Dover.
Yeah,
Dover was May 17th.
And he won the truck race, right?
Did he?
Yeah, he won the truck race at Dover, I think.
Interesting. So they interviewed him then, probably based on that. I'm not a big NASCAR follower, so I would have never known the truck race thing.
I read it. I as well am not a huge NASCAR guy, but
when they were talking to him, he said, you can still hear the congestion in my face, which made everybody go, "Oh, sinuses," right? Like, man, that it's just a scary deal. So really, really shook by that yesterday in the sports industry in general, but specifically for NASCAR fans, of which let's just take a step back and look at the history of racing in NASCAR, specifically here from Wisconsin. It runs deep.
Absolutely.
And all the short tracks across the entire state. And many of the NASCAR's biggest names that have not only come from here, but then come back to race here.
Right.
And the Milwaukee Mile and all the things. A tough day for the racing community. Yep. Yeah, Elkhart Lake. And
absolutely. And so, yeah, we send our prayers out to his family, and may his memory be for a blessing. And I know it will be for millions and millions of NASCAR fans, because, the more I read about it, I mean, one person referred to him as kind of like the Kobe Bryant, the way he came into the sport so young and dominated so early. He was ready to race at 16, but there were rules that you couldn't race until you were 18 because the cigarette sponsors, so that you couldn't be, so that his older brother,
Winston,
right, his older brother was saying, wait till Kyle gets here. The Kurt, right? I was saying, like, wait till he gets here, and he took it by storm. He struggled in recent years, had a couple team changes. There was a sponsorship situation in 22, I think I was reading about, but just an absolute tragedy in the world of NASCAR and the world of sports.
So we'll see if we learn more. Yep. And that's the hardest part about this in today's day and age, is that we learn quickly of news and then we don't learn much more sometimes. Exactly. And that's okay. Yep. And that's okay. We all have to be okay with that. His family deserves privacy too.
Yes, absolutely.
When we come back, we have questions.
Yeah.
How do we look at the regular season game against the Dodgers differently, knowing what happened last year? Apparently, the Bears hate Chicago just as much as we do. And that's awesome. RIP to CBS Radio.
Yes.
Crazy for the industry.
And I will explain to you the Casablanca reference that's in the text line that you may not have understood immediately, but I'm excited to dive into that as well.
We'll do it when we come back. We're live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. It's Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh and Mitch Thunder Nellis today.
When things just don't add up, Trevor and Josh ask the hard questions or just point out how messed up stuff is.
I only have one question. Can you fly this plane and land it?
Surely you can't be serious. Do you view this season as a failure?
You asked me the same question last year.
What's the most important question the Badgers have to answer Saturday?
This is a great question. Oh my God, this is a great question.
It's time for I Have Questions on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
The Nicolay Law Talk and text line 414-677-1250. Questions abound today. The first one is, do the Bears hate Chicago as much as we do? What is happening down there?
It is an absolute mess, Trevor. And as we look at the Bears yesterday released a statement, and basically all it said is, the Chicago Bears have exhausted every opportunity to stay in Chicago, which was our initial goal. There is not a viable site in the city. As a result, the only sites under consideration are in Arlington Heights and Hammond.
That seems pretty firm, doesn't it?
I mean, that's yes, it does, sir. Yes, it does.
Or are they expecting the city of Chicago to come begging on their knees?
I mean,
crawling for forgiveness.
Right. The response to that by the city of Chicago and the state of Illinois, frankly, is to give the Bears like literally the sweetheartest of sweetheart stadium deals in the history of Earth to get them to stay. Barring that, the Bears are out of Chicago. Now,
it's wild.
Arlington Heights is still considered like suburban Chicago-ish. It's out there though. It's for those of us who've ever driven to O'Hare, right? You drive through Arlington Heights, you're not close to Chicago. Like it's especially in traffic, you're a good hour away.
I was gonna say this is the last thing 294 needs around Chicago.
Oh my, right. Like I love my 294 when I go to O'Hare, and I love Mitchell Airport, and I'm sure Austin Strobel's great as well. I've been there once.
So awesome.
Yeah. I mean, the size
ATW and Appleton, those are two airports that you don't need to worry. Yeah, totally. What time's my flight leave? Doug Gottlieb was talking about that the other day. He walks onto a flight like 10 minutes before it takes off in Green Bay.
That is awesome. That's like my in-laws live outside of Knoxville and Asheville, North Carolina. And it's similar there. Where it's like they're a little bit bigger than the Green Bay airport, but not too much bigger. But I mean, Chicago, like, do you have a rooting interest in Hammond, Indiana versus Arlington Heights, Illinois?
To say that I would prefer one or the other would make it believe that I've spent any speck of time caring about the Chicago Bears and where they land. I had a conversation with a buddy yesterday.
Okay.
I try not to involve myself in other people's fires.
Oh, I like that.
If you got a fire,
yeah,
and it's
not my
filled
monkey,
with drama.
Not my monkey, not my circus.
Yeah, exactly. Now, on the flip side, I did follow that text up and say, but I will absolutely pull up a lawn chair and watch it burn.
Okay. I
and
like that.
That's where I'm at with this.
Do you there's a famous quote from the movie Hoosiers where it's like, a man gets naked and, yells at the moon. Like, who cares? He does it in my front yard or he does it in my living room. Like, now we have a problem. I think that's similar to here. I have personal interest in this. Like, I like the fact that if the Bears are in Arlington Heights, man, those Bears-Packers games could be complete Packers takeovers.
True. Yeah.
But more so than schlepping to downtown and dealing with downtown Chicago and the traffic and all that. To get to Arlington Heights for, I know Kenosha's split and Racine's kind of split, but you start talking about like Milwaukee, Waukesha, Washington, Ozaukee counties, Sheboygan, Manitowoc. Arlington Heights is not that far. And for a Packers takeover to happen in Arlington Heights is very easy. Now, I will say, if the Bears move to Hammond, I could every year do like an away game and stay over in Hammond and play poker at the casinos all night. I don't mind that either. Like Hammond, Indiana. Hammond.
Change the name?
No, because it's still.
So, well,
it's like the New York Giants, New York Jets.
No, I know, but they don't hate each other. Like, it seems right now that the Bears organization is kind of flipping the bird to the city of Chicago. And the ultimate bird would be to yank that city name ahead of its team name.
Yeah.
I know.
That's interesting.
But that was a pretty firm statement. That's my point. Like, we've exhausted all options. F you, Chicago.
You're right. They are saying that. There's no doubt, right?
I love it. I love Illinois drama.
You're here for it?
I am. I'm sitting in my lawn chair with a box of popcorn right now and a Miller Lite, even though it's 6:35. Shut up. The second I said that, I was like, oh, God, here we go again.
I love it. It's so good.
How do we look
Stupid Bears.
How do we look at this Dodgers? I almost said Cubs. This Dodgers-Brewers series differently based on what happened last year. So here they come.
Right.
We swept them last year in the regular season, and none of that mattered, apparently. So I look at this series and go, okay, hold on, pause. As the regular season continues to unfold, as the Brewers continue to get better and better, they're playing very well right now. Just look at this last stretch of 9-1 over the last 10 or 8-1 over the last 9 games.
8-2 over the last 10, and so 8-1 over the last 9. Yep.
Does it matter? Do we look at this series now and look at it in the playoffs and go, is there anything we can take away? Because it felt like last year, Thunder, it didn't matter.
You are absolutely correct. Do you want the real answer?
Probably not.
Yeah.
But give it to me anyway.
The real answer is it doesn't matter unless Mizorowski and Harrison can be this type of starting pitching duo in the playoffs. Because, yes, I know the hitting fell apart last year. And I got railed yesterday on the Mason Crosby show raked over the coals about my take on pitching. Because we all know it was the hitting that lost the Dodgers series. Like the Brewers hitting was absolutely abysmal, but the pitching wasn't what we needed it to be as Brewers fans and as the Brewers organization. And with Woody being hurt and with the shuffling of when's Priester pitching, when's Quintana pitching, are we using Miz out of the bullpen? Is he starting? It was just all confusing. If Miz and Harrison can be legit 1 and 2 starters, which it's May 22nd, I have no stock in that neither of them have really pitched a full. Harrison pitched 24 games last year. Neither of them have ever pitched a full season in Major League Baseball. But if they can be this good in October, the way they're pitching in May, then it's different. If they're not, or if somebody's hurt because injuries happen, or if somebody needs to be shut down for a month and they don't come back the right way, then it's the same.
Okay.
So it's basically the same as last year.
My ADHD took over there.
Yeah.
I was
here's
so what did we learn?
We learned that you can be great in the regular season and still struggle in the playoffs. The Brewers, until they do better, and I know they won a series. They beat the Cubs. I get it in the playoffs. But until the Brewers show that they're more than just a 90-plus win team in the regular season, that they are formidable in the playoffs, everything's the same until we get to that point.
We're going to break that down more, too, and look at averages and comparisons. I actually ran some stats to see what the Brewers have done over the last 9 games in comparison to what the Brewers did against the Dodgers last year.
I like that.
And what are those stats? And is there anything that we can read into, even though we know better than that? But hell, that's what we do. So let's read into some stuff.
Trevor, I have a stat for you right here.
Or launch one into left center. This is way back. Goodbye. There's your answer. Christian Yelich, opposite field blast, his 18th. And now Dave Roberts can use a position player. 9-0 Brewers.
I believe that was the first matchup of the 6 last year when the Brewers absolutely just opened up a can of whoop ass against the Dodgers.
You know what's painful about that audio, though? That's BA on the call. And that was to the Brewers' benefit. But the way we opened the show, and we'll do it again at the top of the 7, it was also BA on the call for all the Shohei Ohtani home runs. And that just stung a little different, didn't it?
I'm with you. I'm totally with you on that, on Trevor. I just want to there's got to be some wash my mouth out with soap or ears out with soap or something with that. Yeah. with BA on that call.
414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law talk and text line. Last thing in the I Have Questions portion, then we'll get to some of your feedback here live with us via text. You're free to call as well. 414-677-1250. 12:50. Not many people call in the morning, Thunder.
Yeah. I mean, people, they got their morning routines, and that's cool. We appreciate that.
A lot of coffee.
Yeah.
RIP CBS News Radio.
Yeah. I heard a special on that this morning, and CBS News Radio has been around for more than 100 years. And it really, it really grew in stature during World War II because there were correspondents on the ground giving basically play-by-play of the bombings in London and of different things going on during World War II. And it was bought by a new venture capital, like happens in big radio, a year ago. And all the trends show that all the young people are going to their phones and getting personalized news or whatever it is. And that this big radio entity no longer needs to exist. And it's just like, as a radio lover, it makes me a little sad. And I don't go out seeking CBS News Radio. Like I listen to local. I listen to a lot of local sports. I listen to a lot of local talk. I'm all around the dial. Obviously, I have loyalties to my people and to my coworkers and to my teammates. But I try to sample everybody. I don't know that I will know that I miss CBS News Radio, but it's just in this ever-changing landscape of media here on Earth in 2026. I thought it was worth noting.
And so your question was, does it affect you and I?
Right.
Should it make you and I worried that we here are in this radio industry and on these radio airwaves across the state of Wisconsin on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network?
Yes.
As boldly as I could ever say something, and I mean this,
yeah,
absolutely not.
Tell me why.
What we do for the state of Wisconsin and those that are listening to us right now, in comparison to what national radio is attempting to do for the country, are night and day different.
Well, and I would argue there was a time where national news radio was 1,000% needed around the country. And it's not needed in the same way. We can get our news, our weather, our sports headlines. We don't do sports updates anymore, right? Because we all have it on our phone. We do talk. We do local talk that is that exactly what you just said. That can't be replicated any other way by any other means. Yeah, we got a million podcasts out there, but they're not live. They're not interactive. It's not the same.
It is not the same. I'm not worried at all.
Nice. I love that.
So rest easy, bud.
All right.
We're good.
All right. I'm here for it. Nice.
The most electrifying sound of the day is next. We really love remembering beating the Dodgers.
We do.
We're just trying to ignore the NLCS. Although, kind of in our craw, and I don't know that that's a bad thing.
I want it there. I want it there. I want that, that Aaron Rodgers chip on my shoulder.
Truth.
I want that craw that the Brewers know that it's May and it doesn't really matter. But in the back of your mind, it's there.
Oh, it matters. And when we come back, you need to explain yourself as to why you hate the Dodgers more than the Cubs.
Fair. I can do it.
We're live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Today, Mitch Thunder Nellis in for Josh. Good morning.
It's time for
The most electrifying,
sound of the day
the most electrifying.
on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Brought to you by Best Electric. Learn more at bestelect.com. Don't stress. Connect with the best.
Vaughn breaks his back. That's going to get down. Here comes Collins. He will score. Durbin in the third. Andrew Vaughn delivers in the clutch. We're tied at 2. Churio, base hit. Ball game. Frelick scores. And the Brewers win. They sweep the Dodgers.
That was the most electrifying sound of the day, brought to you by our friends at Best Electric. Remember, no job is too big or too small for Best Electric. Don't stress. Connect with the best. They've been to my house. They'll come to yours. Call them today or visit bestelect.com.
Give me the specifics of that highlight there, Mr. Nellis.
Yep. So that was game 3 of the home series last year during the regular season. That was in early July. They played the Dodgers, and then they played them about 10 days later in L.A. But this was early July. They'd won that first game 9-0. We heard the Yelich home run earlier. Game 3 was a getaway day, so it was a day game. Vaughn with like a broken bat single in the bottom of the 9th to tie it at 2. And then Churio with his first ever career walk-off hit.
That's awesome.
To win the game in the bottom of the 10th. Absolutely fantastic.
You know, back to BA for a second. I know it kind of pains us to listen to him calling Shohei Ohtani home runs, but the guy is Brewers through and through.
He is. I agree.
And every single time it's a major Brewer event and BA is on the call, it sounds like it's the greatest event in Brewers history when he does it. It means that much to him. I think both professionally and personally, if I may be so bold.
Yeah. No, I agree.
You earlier were super bold and
boy.
said,
what did I say?
A little under your breath, though. I mean, I couldn't tell if you were very confident in it or not.
Okay.
In that you hate the Dodgers more than the Cubs.
Yeah. Yeah.
I clearly understand why, but will you explain, please?
Well, globally, I hate the idea of the Dodgers and all the money they spend and how they're ruining baseball and all those sorts of things. But specifically as a Brewers fan, I hate that we can't beat them in the playoffs. That like they are the barrier. The Cubs aren't the barrier. Like, why would I hate the Cubs? We as Brewers fans, we as the Brewers beat the Cubs in the playoffs. So I don't hate them. Like we took care of the garbage. We took the garbage out. We threw it away. The truck picked it up. It's in the dump. Like the Cubs stink. The Dodgers don't stink. The Dodgers are the champs. And so I feel more animosity towards Cubs players specifically, like PCA and like the Horner terrain, like people thinking Horner's better, like that's crazy. But in general, like the Dodgers, and part of it is a jealousy, like that I wish we had their riches, but it's not like a jealousy like I wish we were ruining baseball. Also, I wouldn't want the Brewers to ruin baseball the way the Dodgers are. I just hate the Dodgers that like they just show up and they get it done, and it's like it's vexing to me, Trevor. Vexing.
Wow, that was big. Yeah, I get it. And still, based on the way the playoffs have gone and losing to the Dodgers the way we have, and twice now in the NLCS, I still look at the Cubs series, even in the playoffs last year, and go, if we lose that series against the Cubs, in comparison to losing the series against the Dodgers,
yes,
which hurts more?
Oh, the Cubs 1,000%.
So that's why they deserve more hate.
Yeah. No, there's more emotions with the Cubs for sure. But like I've gotten to the point where the Cubs don't even bother me because like they're just like little gnats.
Well,
they
I'm not there
matter.
yet.
Yeah,
I'm not there yet.
I think most Brewers fans are not that. I think most Brewers fans enjoy that rivalry and hate the Cubs more than anybody because of the rivalry. I'm more concerned about winning a World Series.
Me too.
And the Dodgers are the barrier to that, not the Cubs.
So is there anything that we can learn then from the last 9 games and compare it to last year's Dodgers-Brewers series and go, will this work? We're Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Stay here. eternal optimist. So please, God, don't tell me that you're an eternal pessimist.
I like to say I'm a realist.
Oh, it's great. We're going to get along great. This is going to be great.
This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
Crowd is here, about to blow, waiting for me to start the show. Out the curtain, lights go up, I'm home. Whoa!
In for the LCS, and there goes Ohtani. Shohei lighting up the highlights already. Oh my goodness! Shohei Ohtani! Wow! Up and over the roof! A majestic blast! Ohtani drops jaws everywhere! Ohtani, did he? Ohtani! Ohtani has done it again! His third home run!
I mean, that was just ridiculous. There's just no way around it.
I went back and watched, when I was cutting them, I watched the highlights too. That second home run that he hit out of the stadium.
Ridiculous.
Like, thank God Chad Patrick is mentally strong enough to be awesome this year. Because if I had given up a 700-foot home run to Ohtani, I would have gone home, gotten fetal, and I'd be still crying today.
That's well, that's funny you bring this up. So yesterday, the newest Inside Wisconsin podcast came out with myself and Dario Melendez from Channel 12 there in Milwaukee. We had Wags on.
You have better hair, by the way.
Thanks.
I said it out loud. I said it. What up, Dario? You want some?
That.
Come get some.
I love that. We had Wags on, Paul Wagner.
Yeah. Yep.
I was unaware that he gave up one of Mark McGwire's longest home runs, if not the longest home run ever at Busch Stadium.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he loved us bringing that up.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
We had Wags on yesterday on the Mason Crosby show, and we actually talked about some good memories for him. Which would you rather have done if you were a major league pitcher? Would you rather have struck out Tony Gwynn, which a lot of great, like Maddox never did it, Pedro never did it, a lot of great pitchers never struck out Tony Gwynn, or would you rather have hit a double off of Tom Glavine? Paul Wagner never hit a home run in the majors. He has two doubles. One of them is against Tom Glavine. So if you were given the choice in your baseball career, which would you rather do? Strike out Tony Gwynn or hit a double off of Tom Glavine?
Strike out Tony Gwynn.
Yeah, I think
real quick to me.
I think that's the right answer. If it was a home run off Glavine, it might be different.
Different ballgame, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we're on the same page on that.
It's Friday. It's 7 a.m. Time to get some things off our chest and out of our head so we can start our Friday and the Memorial Day weekend appropriately. So let's vent about the Dodgers, shall we?
Let's do
Time
it.
for the Malat Meets Morning Mind Up.
Hello, computer. There we go.
I hear voices in my head, they count
It works when it wants to work.
It's all good.
It's a computer. They run us.
The coffee is kicked in. We're awake and ready to roll. Let's get some things off our chest and out of our heads.
You don't know what it's like to be me out here for you. It is an up at dawn, pride-swallowing siege that I will never fully tell you about, okay?
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore!
I'm in a glass case of emotion.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
We got no food. We got no jobs. Our pets' heads are falling off.
It's time for the Morning Mind Dump, presented by Malat Meats. High-quality meats at a fair price, safely delivered to your front door. To learn more, visit WisconsinMeatMarket.com. Experience the power of the family meal with Malat Meats on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
Yeah, if it's a holiday weekend in the state of Wisconsin, we associate it with grilling. WisconsinMeatMarket.com.
Let's go.
There you will find a Father's Day sale.
Oh,
10% off all ribeyes between now and Father's Day. I don't know why, Mitch, but the ribeye seems to be the choice of steak that Dad makes most.
Really?
What's yours?
For a steak? No,
Just say
it
ribeye.
probably is a ribeye, actually.
See?
Now that I
Nailed
think
it.
about it. Because like when I go out, I often get the New York strip, but I don't get New York strips at home. I get ribeye.
Bingo.
When I'm
That's why
grilling.
these are safely
that's
delivered
real.
to your front door. That's your home. High quality meats at a fair price delivered right to your door. For more info And to get 10% off all ribeyes between now and Father's Day, a Father's Day sale at WisconsinMeatMarket.com with Malat Meats.
All right. Here's not what to do on this Friday morning. If you have woken up, had your cup of coffee, but not had anything to eat, and if you're intermittent fasting, you definitely should not do this. Don't go to WisconsinMeatMarket.com and don't look at how amazing these steaks look. You got the mushrooms and the onions with them. You got the cracked pepper on top. The T-bone. So I actually went to the site because I was trying to figure out, and I assume that it's more than steaks, of course.
Of course.
I was looking for it. I can't find it yet. I probably need some help because I'm old.
Try me.
Breakfast meats. Like I want to grill some chicken sausage and some pork sausage for people. Like I'm guessing they have that. It's not what they highlight. They highlight their steaks as Malat Meats should. But I went to the site and holy crap, it looks amazing.
Yep.
This is too much.
That's because it is amazing.
Yeah.
The perfect gift box, by the way, if you just click on the part of the website that says view all cuts, all the way at the bottom, there's gourmet hamburger patties, 4 bacon wrapped pork tenderloins, 6. I know you're fasting, so just filet mignon. Yeah. They have grill boxes. I mean, the list is long. Yeah. WisconsinMeatMarket.com at your own peril, I guess.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah. It is. It looks phenomenal. I'm excited.
That's how it feels like when we play the Dodgers. It's at our own peril. And so as the Dodgers come to town this weekend, we must pause and go, this is why we can't have nice things in the playoffs. And don't forget it, Wisconsin. If you're going to AmFam Field this weekend, do not let the Dodgers forget that they believe the regular season doesn't matter. Because that's ultimately what they said to us last year.
Right.
We're banged up. We don't have the pitchers. We're not going to worry about who's playing and who's not. Oh, you swept us? Hold your beer, Milwaukee. Because here we come. So I'm looking for some sort of saving grace in regards to where the Brewers are at right now, in regard to how we're playing versus how we played the Dodgers last year. And it's fascinating. It's a fascinating study. So in 2025 versus the Dodgers, obviously 6-0. And in the last 9 games, the Brewers are 8-1. If you look at, though, the averages between those 2 games, this is where it gets weird. Runs per game average against the Dodgers last year in the regular season when we went 6-0 versus runs per game average over the last 9 games against the Yankees, the Padres, and the Cubs.
Okay.
Versus the Dodgers last year, 5.17 runs.
Yep.
Winning baseball 6-0.
Absolutely. And we have the stat we use on the Mason Crosby show. When the Brewers score more than 4 runs or more, they are almost unbeatable. 4 runs or more. That's how good the pitching is. They don't need to get in these 9-8, base brawl, whatever. So 5.17, you tell me that, I'll take that all day.
The last 9 games, 5.22.
Done. Say less.
That's it.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Hits per game. 9.5 hits per game against the Dodgers in the regular season last year. Just over 9 hits per game on average over the last 9 games against the Yankees, Padres, and Cubs, 9.11. And this is where it gets even better for the Brewers in that, knock on wood, errors were not a thing. They're just not a thing typically these games. 0.17 errors on average in the Dodgers series last year, 0.22 in the last 9 games. The problem is the hitting in the NLCS. And it's directly connected to runs scored and less about what our pitchers were or were not able to do outside of that little highlight we play there at the top of the show with Ohtani's ridiculousness.
Sometimes it happens.
So the Brewers machine is running today just as well as it was against the Dodgers last year.
Yes.
Which makes me feel as a Brewers fan like it doesn't matter. And that makes me angry. So get me out of that headspace, please, Thunder, because I guess that's not something I want to carry into the weekend as a Brewers fan.
Well, here's what I'm going to go with 414-677-1250, because I don't know that I'm the right person to get you out of that headspace, but I know that many of our fans are there to get you out of that headspace. To tell
first
you that,
text. Yeah. Listen to this. First text.
Right.
Look at this.
Right.
Justin from the Port. As thrilling as this Dodger series is, it's May. It means nothing.
There you go.
That doesn't help me.
Well, it should help you a little bit, because knowing that, hey, whatever happens in this series, like, this Brewers team is built for bigger and better things. That whatever happens, whatever we learn about Brewers Dodgers today, tomorrow, and Sunday matters, but also doesn't matter. It matters in the, yes, we want to win baseball games. We want to feel good about ourselves. We're playing really good. Can the Brewers keep playing as well as they've been playing? But also knowing what can we learn that can help us in October, and knowing that the 25-man roster or whatever it is right now, 3 or 4, 5, 6 different players, it's not going to be the exact same roster in September and in October. So knowing you can learn what you can learn now, but keeping that perspective that the big picture is still down the road. Does that help at all?
Listen, I'm an eternal optimist. It says that at the top of every single hour on this program, Monday through Friday, 6 to 9. The problem with optimism and facts
don't always jive.
They don't. And I do believe that the Brewers will get over the hump in the playoffs. It is simple statistics. It's a matter of time. They're playing too well.
You're not predicting this year specifically. You're just saying in the next couple, the next, maybe this year, but within the next few years.
Brandon and I had a conversation about this yesterday based on
I know him.
B. Snizzle.
Yeah.
Like him a lot.
Yeah.
Great dude.
Good dude.
We talked yesterday about who the Brewers would want to trade from the farm system to go and pick up XYZ person so that we can get over the hump towards the end of the year. Our take at the end of it was shocking.
Okay.
Because we talked about what it means to go all in based on that.
Yeah.
Do you know the best way for the Brewers to go all in? It's to call some of these dudes up. Think about that.
Yeah.
Cooper Pratt, Jet Williams.
Right. We had Jack Stern, Brewers fanatic, on this week, and we asked him, what is getting in the way of just calling up Pratt and Williams right now and just starting them at short and third and seeing what happens? And he said, first of all, it's not June 1st, so slow down. But we may have this conversation again in 10 days. And do you know why he said that? You will love this, because you're looking at what that the Brewers have 3 right now against the Dodgers. They then have 3 against the Cardinals.
Yep.
The Brewers
all at home.
Right. All at home. The Brewers then go to
Houston.
Go to Houston, right, which is, I mean, Houston is not that big a deal, I believe. But, Houston is 21-30 or whatever they are. They're not very good. After Houston, they've got San Francisco, at Colorado, at the Athletics. And I know the Athletics are decent, but knowing that you have Houston, San Francisco, Colorado, and the Athletics, you don't call up Pratt and Williams to face the Dodgers and Cardinals. You call them up to face a bad Astros team, a very bad Giants team, a very bad Rockies team, and a mediocre Athletics team. So if it's going to happen, it's May 22nd. Circle a week from now. Circle the 29th. Circle Monday, June 1st, because those might be the dates, depending on how the next 7 to 10 days go for Ortiz, Rengifo, and Hamilton, that you could see a Pratt and or a Williams coming up.
And yet the Brewers are playing winning baseball right now.
They are.
With those 3 guys that you just listed.
So do you want to mess with it?
I know. That's the hardest part.
Mm-hmm.
Because and here comes a text from the 262. I'm sorry, the 906. Last year's over. Last year doesn't mean anything. This year means everything for this year.
Yep.
Yeah, but strategy is strategy. Sure. So what are we going to do different than last year so that history doesn't repeat itself?
Because 906 continues, I test, they're the best team this year. Well, I test, they were the best team last year. And it didn't work out in the playoffs. And again, I'll go back to the point I made last hour about if Miz and Harrison are who they are today in October, that changes everything because they did not have that last October. Woody gets hurt. We all love Freddie, but Freddie's not going deep. Freddie's going 5 innings, and he pitched well, but he's not going deep. Quintana pitched well until he didn't. Miz was great, but he was really out of the bullpen. They just didn't have it set up the right way last year. If they can set it up this year with Miz and Harrison, what they're doing on May 22nd, and just like, can we put them in a space capsule and just like shut them in and just open them up in October? Like, I'd take that in a second.
So that brings up Woody then.
Yeah.
Because Robert Gasser is supposed to get the start tomorrow.
Yeah. Gasser's starting tomorrow for sure. Yeah.
So there we go, though. That's a hole in the lineup in terms of pitching at the moment.
Yes. How
much time and effort should the Brewers continue to spend on Brandon Woodruff before we go, we need to consider who's going to pitch in that spot come October? Well,
he's a 1-year deal. So if you can keep him happy, every interview you hear with every pitcher, and you ask Murph and you ask Hook and you ask everybody, and they all say that the role Woodruff's playing, even right now, even on the injured list, him being that veteran presence in that dugout and in that clubhouse means the world to, again.
But right now, hire him as the bench coach then.
Well, they can do that with it. Like, they can make him the de facto bench coach. And if he's healthy enough to pitch, let's see if he can throw over 86. Like, if his arm comes back to 92, 93, I'll take Woody in there.
Yeah, of course.
But you're right. If he comes back and he throws in a simulated game and he doesn't top 86 and they have to shut him down, I still want to figure out a way to keep him happy because, again, we talked about this last hour. Henderson, Gasser, Sprout, Mizrowski, Harrison is your starting 5. None have ever pitched a full season in Major League Baseball. None of your 5 starters. Well, you know who has? Brandon Woodruff. And so even if he can't go, keeping him on this roster and trying to rehab and trying to get him and seeing his work ethic and seeing what he's dealing with, that leadership is worth it to these 5 guys. And Crow and Ashby and whoever else might be starting games down the road.
Shane Drowan,
absolutely. Yep. Great example. Man, the Red Sox got to be talking about like lying fetal. If I'd given up a 700 foot home run to Shohei Ohtani, the Red Sox, like Craig Breslow, who just withstood a coup by firing Joey Cora and the whole staff there, Alex Cora and the whole staff there. Like, he's got to just like get fetal and cry every day about this Caleb Durbin trade. Like, talk about a mind dump. Like, everyone in baseball right now, after the performance by Harrison at Wrigley, is talking about how terrible a trade it was. And they're not even talking about Drowan. And Drowan, I'm going to say this out loud. I don't know if I believe it. Drowan might be just as good as Harrison, if not better.
Ooh.
Long term. Like, he's younger, and so he's still going through the learning process. But his stuff is filthy. And if these 2 guys end up being your lefty starters for the next 5 years in the rotation with Miz, like, shut the door. Like, get out of the way, stupid Dodgers. Sorry.
Andy in Brookfield brings up a good point here that I was kind of leading to. If Woody won't be there, then you got to go all in and go get a rental pitcher at the deadline like we did with CeCe. That if there is an opportunity, that's it. And the 906 continues on, by the way. Hamilton needs to stay on this roster. Dude is awesome, and he can bunt for a hit 7 out of 10 times.
Definitely not 7 out of 10 times where he'd be hitting 700.
Well, he doesn't bunt every at bat.
But no, Renhefo's the one who's gone. Like, I think we love who he is and he's fit in well. But he's the one who's gone. Like, with Ortiz's glove and with Hamilton's speed, Renhefo's the one who's gone for sure to begin with. I think Perkins then might be the next guy gone, depending on what they want to do with that outfield.
And Fitzpatrick ultimately, right, in the bullpen.
Yep. Well, I think they said, well, he's been going up and down and up and down. So
right. Yeah. I don't know where he is at the moment, but that seems to be the one that is always in conversation. All right. When we get back, it's a Top 5 Friday, and I'm excited for this conversation. We kind of teased it yesterday, and they started to flood in. What are the top 5 ticket stubs that you have that you cherish most?
Ooh.
I don't care if it's to do with Wisconsin sports. It could be anywhere. And by the way, I'm going to preface this. A screenshot of a ticket qualifies. I hate that.
Ooh.
I know.
I hate that too.
I hate that. But you can't ignore the fact that we've been dealing with this regularly now since like 2008 in regards to concerts, and then COVID screwed all of it up.
It's true.
Don't touch anything. What are your top 5 ticket stubs and why? What are the stories? 414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law Talk and Text Line. It's Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. And this morning, to your benefit, Mitch Thunder Nellis.
Oh, boy. Wait, what?
Coming off a sweep of the Cubs, the Brewers welcome the Dodgers to American Family Field this weekend. Get ready for game one of the 3-game set with Tommy Wirtz and the leadoff show tonight at 5 here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Trevor Thomas and Mitch Thunder Nellis in for Josh this morning on Inside Wisconsin Sports.
Hello.
On a top 5 did you just try to do the Josh? Hi.
Hello. Hi.
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 A top 5 Friday on Inside Wisconsin Sports. What are the top 5 ticket stubs you have, and where are they from and why? Like, why'd you hang on to them? I mean, some of us have held on to all of our ticket stubs from birth on, and we also have not dealt with this whole there's no ticket stubs thing very well. I don't know if you have, but I don't like it.
I hate it. Hate it. I love using apps. I'm good with apps, but I hate that I don't have ticket stubs.
Yeah, that's a bummer. 414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law talk and text line. Thunder, why don't you share your top 5 list first?
Oh my gosh, putting me on the spot right away. No, it's okay. I have 4 for sure. I've been trying to brainstorm 5th. But my number 1 ticket stub is I have a general admission standing room only ticket to game 4 of the 2004 World Series when the Red Sox beat the Cardinals. I was planning on driving to Boston for the World Series. But when the Red Sox went up 3-0, I thought to myself, boy, the next 2 games were in St. Louis, and that's a lot closer. So I picked up my buddy Steven in Chicago. We drove down. I bought 2 standing room only tickets for $750 total. They were going for like $3,000 a piece in Boston. So I was there for game 4, and I have the ticket stub. Number 2, this one doesn't count, but I'm counting it anyway. I have the ceremonial pack from the Bucks of the championship game, the opening game, first ever game at Fiserv, and the special game they played at the Mecca a few years ago against the Celtics.
Were you at all those games?
I was at the first game ever at Fiserv. I was at the game at Mecca, and for the championship, I was at game 4. I was not at game 6, but I was at game 4. And I got it because I was a season ticket holder. So I sold game 6 because it covered my entire season, and I couldn't really go anyway. Number 3, I saw Prince at the Bradley Center, and it was absolutely unbelievable.
Awesome.
I actually went by myself. No, I couldn't get. No one would go, so I was like, I'm not going to Prince. So I went to Prince. I bought 1 ticket, and I went to Prince. Number 4, I have a Red Sox Angels. This is a more personal one. I have a Red Sox Angels ticket stub from Fenway, which was when Mrs. Thunder and I were still dating. We had a trip to Boston, and then we went up to Maine to see my buddies. And we went to a day Friday game where Dustin Pedroia on his birthday hit a home run off of John Lackey, and the whole crowd sang happy birthday in the 8th inning to Dustin Pedroia as he rounded the bases. That was absolutely awesome. Oh, and then number 5, which actually is number 2. So let's go up from 5 to 2. I just remembered it. I have a ticket from Robin Yount's 3,000th hit. I was there.
No, yeah. See, that's great.
I bought tickets. I went to all 3 games of that home series against the Indians. And the first game he hit $29.98, 1 hit. The second game he hit $29.99, 1 hit. And the third game he hit number 3,000 off Jose Mesa, of course. And so I have the Yount.
That's cool.
So those are my 5.
414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law talk and text line. Many ticket stubs coming in from World Series games, much like yourself. The 414 says, I've got them from Grandma.
Okay.
But they qualify. 1957 and 1958 World Series.
All right, then I have a 57. It was from Grandpa.
Oh, do you? That's
I have a
cool.
57 Braves, but it's not.
Do you
mine.
have it on display? Do you display them?
I don't. I have them all in a box, but I don't display. Maybe some I should start displaying. It's a good point. Good point.
414 says, I have a ticket stub. This is Nick in Waukesha. Mm-hmm. I have a stub from Kobe's last game at the Bradley Center.
Ooh, that's good. I was there.
No,
but I don't have a ticket stub. I believe that was also Steve Novak's first game as a Buck.
The fact that you know that off the top of your head is
he
disgusting.
Had a wide open 3 and he missed his first 3, and the crowd was ready to go nuts because the crowd is going nuts all night for Kobe. And then like Novak comes in, Milwaukee kid, Brown Deer High School, and wide open 3. But I'm pretty sure the Bucks had just signed Novak right before that game.
Scotty Tiffany's got a bittersweet one. Sterling Sharp's final game.
Ooh,
her favorite player of all time.
I mean, he's up there for sure. Man, that's a good one.
Kevin in Utah at the 801. I have 3 ticket stubs to share. The last game at County Stadium.
Good one.
God, I feel like I was at that. I don't know if I have that stub. That sucks.
I think I was out of town. I think I missed it, which killed me.
And then likely the first game at Miller Park. So last game at County Stadium, first game at Miller Park.
That's
and then a ticket stub for the very first, it says Lambeau Leap. Thanks, guys. Love the show. We appreciate you, Kev.
The Leroy Butler, Reggie White, he was down and out of bounds play.
Stop it.
I mean, they were. Like, watch
Mitch,
the replay.
It's Friday. Why? Come on.
Just telling the truth. I'm just telling the truth, Trev. Just telling the truth. It's still iconic. It's still amazing, but it was a little wonky.
Yeah. All right. Here we go from, we don't know who.
Okay.
God, these texts are jacked in this system today. 414. We'll go with that.
Okay.
In no particular order, the 2011 Rose Bowl, Badgers lost to TCU.
Yeah.
About 40 of us from around the country met in Pasadena and tailgated in the golf course and so on and so forth. That's awesome. The 2006 national title hockey game, Badgers over BC.
Boston College. I was there.
Yep.
I think I have my press pass from that game. So we're not talking press passes, but
that's
not fair.
The average fan doesn't have.
I believe I still have my press pass from that game.
That's one thing that I really pissed at myself for. I didn't save those from when I was a kid. Should have.
I should have saved more. I have some, but there's definitely some I did not. I'm like, another one. The first ever Big Ten tournament. The first ever Big Ten at the United Center. Orlando Tucker and Cam Taylor and Brian Butch, I think, were all on that Badgers team, and I have that.
A few more from the 414. 2015 Final Four game against Kentucky in Indy.
Yep.
Then Game 5 of the NLCS against the D-backs. A huge series win.
Right, Nigel Morgan, Carlos Gomez, of course.
First time from 82, right?
Ooh, yeah.
And then lastly, Game 3 of the NBA Finals against the Suns in 2021. It was my first and only NBA Finals game. This person says, my father-in-law and mother-in-law were at the baseball all-star game. So my buddy Zach, and apparently Mitch, you know who Zach is, flew from Charlotte to go to the game.
Zach's a great softball player.
All of that from Jeff in Fox Point, by the way. Sorry that we didn't get the beginning, Jeff.
No, it's all good.
414-677-1250, Inside Wisconsin Sports, the conversation. What are your top 5 ticket stubs on a Top 5 Friday here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network? What else do we see here? Easy peasy, this person says. My first concert in 7th grade and my very first ticket stub, Jethro Tull in 1979.
Okay. It's a good one.
No reaction to Jethro Tull.
No, I don't. Not my bag, but that's cool.
Best ticket stub I own from the 262. It's Wisconsin versus Nebraska, the Melvin Gordon game where he broke the rushing record.
Oh, that's a good one.
Here's another list. 5, Queen in 1975. 4, the Bulls' 70th win in Milwaukee.
Yep.
The Nolan Ryan 3000 game.
So I actually remember I was at summer camp in New Hampshire listening to the Red Sox game, and they broke in to the Brewers to the I think maybe it wasn't the Brewers call, maybe it was the Rangers call or some call. They broke in and played like the whole at bat of Nolan's 3000th strikeout there, or 300th win, excuse me.
Mike in Greendale asks, do the George Webb's Burger Streak tickets count?
I have
one.
Remember
do you have one?
Yeah. I never got my burger. I have the stub for the free burger.
I do think that's a pretty cool ticket stub, actually.
Yeah. I was like, I don't need another cheeseburger. I want to keep this certificate.
414-677-1250, the top 5 ticket stubs.
When do we get your list?
Maybe when we come back.
Whoa,
we're going to go to break here in just a little bit. Sure. That's what they call it in the biz. Here's Grandpa in Sun Prairie, aging myself, but I have 45 plus concert ticket stubs from shows at the Dane County Coliseum. Some of my favorites, Queen, Meatloaf, Kansas, AC/DC, who's coming to play Camp Randall in Madison later this year. Man, this is great. The ticket stub lists are long. It's hard to dissect all of these via the talk and text line. Thunder, let's go to break now. I'll share my list when we get back, and we'll be able to give ourselves some time to kind of dissect all these text messages.
Yeah.
Ask for lists, they say. It'll be fun, they say. And then you get lists, and the stupid text line
goes crazy and haywire. And
I love it, but it's also like in no order whatsoever. When all of them come in at once, it's impossible to read. And I'm Ron Burgundy. If you put it on that talking text line, probably going to read it.
How do we not have the technology that, like, if you send in one text message, it comes to our computer as one text message and not 17 separate texts and out of order?
Got to have something to do with these phones. It's so dumb. I hate it. It's the worst part of the talking text line. And also, the talking text line makes this show go. We absolutely love it. So share with us your top 5 ticket stubs. 414-677-1250. The Nicolay Law talking text line. Live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios. Powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
The Queen of Spice is heating up breakfast at Wendy's with new items like their jalapeno sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit, jalapeno bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit, and spicy side twist of jalapeno bacon seasoned potatoes. Available for a limited time, so get a bite while you can and spice up your morning at Wendy's.
Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Mitch Thunder Nellis in for Josh today. On a Top 5 Friday, what are your top 5 ticket stubs of all time? Sports or not, we don't care. Ticket stubs can be from concerts or a game of whatever, wherever, that you got to enjoy that you were like, damn, that was fantastic. I am keeping that ticket stub. All right, buddy, here's my list.
Drum roll.
And remember, I said screenshots count because my first one's a screenshot. And I hate it. I hate that it's a screenshot. Very much so.
You want to email me the screenshot and I'll print it out for you?
No, I have it already printed out.
Okay.
That's funny. Sunday, January 8th, 2023. It was Aaron Rodgers' last game at Lambeau Field as a Green Bay Packer.
That's a good one.
That's one of those ones that actually we went with a few other friends, had 4 tickets. We sat in John Anderson's seats from ESPN.
Sure. Okay.
And I screenshot the tickets and sent them to them and said, you might want to keep this one. Mm-hmm. Just completely based on trends and how this seems to be going. I think you might want to keep this one.
Yep. Nice.
Number 4. I am a huge Garth Brooks fan.
Oh, okay.
Huge. Cannot wait to see him at Summerfest in a matter of weeks now. Let's go. Didn't think that till just now. By the way, I'm off that Thursday. You might need to fill in.
Fair.
Number 4, Garth Brooks returning to the country music touring scene. It was Thursday, September 4th, 2014. It was Allstate Arena. It was his first concert back.
Wow.
That was the one I always wanted to go to. I remember like yesterday when he said, I'm not touring anymore. I'm going to raise my family. And when we're done doing that, I'll hit the road again.
Okay.
And when he started to hit the road again, I was at the very first show when he was back on the road at Allstate Arena in Chicago. Phenomenal show. Can't wait to see him again. I've seen him 4 times now, 3 times at the Bradley Center, once there at Allstate Arena. And it's going to be at Summerfest in June. Can't wait.
Nice.
These 3, my top 3, I have in my possession right now because I actually have them on the Inside Wisconsin set behind me. So, number 3, Vikings at Packers. November 1st, 2009. Any idea what that is?
I believe I also have that ticket stub.
It's right here.
He did.
You're watching this on.
Is that he did what?
Oh
no, am I thinking the wrong one? Mine might be earlier. 2009. Is that Favre?
It's Favre.
Oh, mine's not Favre. Okay.
It's Favre's first game back at Lambeau Field in purple.
I have the Antonio Freeman catch.
Oh,
I have that ticket stub.
I was a child. No offense.
Oh, yeah, no, it's okay. I was in college.
I was in high school.
I'm a little older than you. The Favre one's awesome. I was in Green Bay, but not at the game. I was part of a 24-hour live broadcast from the hotel casino where I think I told you this before, where I saw David Ortiz playing blackjack. Didn't I tell you that story once?
I don't think so.
Okay, so it's like 3 a.m. and we're doing a 24-hour broadcast leading up to the game. And I took a break for we had people rotating in, and I go over to look at the high stakes blackjack room, and there's one guy in there with stacks of black chips all around him. Now, blacks are $100 chips. It was David Ortiz. Now, if you know, it's because David Ortiz was married to an Appleton woman at the time.
Right.
When he was on the Appleton Foxes, I believe.
Bam.
His first wife was from Appleton. So he must have been up for the game, but he had like thousands and thousands of dollars of chips around him just playing blackjack.
Yeah, he had a home here in the Fox Valley for a lot of years.
Okay. Yeah.
For that very reason.
Yeah.
Number 2, January 2nd, 2006.
Sounds like a football game.
It is a football game. The place was Orlando, Florida. The kickoff was 1 p.m.
A bowl game.
The Capital One Bowl.
Okay.
Signed by Barry Alvarez. It was Barry Alvarez's last game as the head coach of the Wisconsin Badgers football team. Now, when I say last game, I mean like before all this stupid crap where he came back, I'll be your coach for the bowl game. I'll be your coach for the bowl game. This was the last game that he was like the head coach.
Yep.
It was actually the game that Joe Thomas blew out his ACL as well.
That's right. I remember
playing
that.
defense.
Yeah, right. Yeah, they put him in, and it was like, I mean, it was a good idea until it wasn't.
And it wasn't.
No.
That was bad.
You know
that was an awesome experience.
So not to interrupt you, but I'm guessing you have some of these similar. I don't know that I have any ticket stubs, but I've been to like a bunch of WWE pay-per-views. Like I was at a Hell in a Cell in Milwaukee. I was at the one where Goldberg beat Kevin Owens. I was in 1998, Stone Cold versus Mankind for the championship, where Undertaker came down as the special enforcer. I don't know if I have any of those ticket stubs, but they got to be somewhere.
Part of this conversation actually starts to piss you off when you're like, son of a, did I not keep any of those ticket stubs? What am I doing?
Where are those stubs? I don't know.
And this last one is my favorite of all time, and it'll never be beat. I don't care what game I'm at in the future. What is the most iconic game ever? It will not beat my number one. It might beat my 2, 3, 4, 5, but it will not beat my number one.
Okay.
Saturday, and I mentioned this yesterday, so if you were listening, it's not a surprise. Saturday, December 15th, 2007. It's a bowl game. It is the 2007 Division III Stag Bowl.
Yep.
My brother was on the University of Wisconsin Whitewater's first national championship team, and this is I have it in my hand right now. This is the ticket stub from that game. It was unbelievable.
Tell us about your brother's accolades. What position did he play?
All-American offensive lineman.
Okay.
4-year starter, question mark? Definitely 3.
Okay. Always at the same spot, or did he move around at all? Or
no, I think it was actually my brother and I and my son were just talking about this the other day. We believe he was the left tackle.
Okay.
We didn't get a chance to connect with Brady and confirm that, but I believe he played left tackle.
Okay.
He was a machine. He played college football at 6'7", 320. Large mammal.
Did he go to the combine? Did he ever get a cup of coffee? Or?
So this is wild. He was working out with J.J. Watt at the workout facility that J.J. was known for working out at there in the Waukesha area.
Okay.
He was doing a drill with J.J. where they were using a band and running in opposite directions with each other.
Okay.
And my brother pulled his hamstring. Like in a really bad way.
Yeah, like not just like tweaked it. He like
pulled it.
Yeah.
Pulled it. Like pop, goes the weasel, goes pop.
Mm-hmm.
The next day or the next week, I can't remember, but shortly thereafter, he was on the list of invited players to the Wisconsin Badgers Combine, the NFL Combine.
Yep.
And his performance was not what it needed to be based on his injury.
Right.
And he ended up going to the CFL.
Okay.
Signed with the Calgary Stampeders.
Yeah. Okay.
I helped him get Ryan Tollefson as an agent.
Okay.
That was Ben Roethlisberger's agent back then. Went to the CFL. I flew up there. Had a fantastic time watching him as a Calgary Stampeder. It was unbelievable to see our last name on the name of a professional football jersey.
Absolutely.
The next day at practice, he calls me, and I could tell he was crying.
Oh, no.
And by the way, pause. I had just spent, I think, $900 on a plane ticket when I had no money whatsoever to fly from Minneapolis to Phoenix to Calgary. And he says, hey, you got to come pick me up. And I'm like, oh, my God, he got cut. I go and pick him up. He's bawling. And I'm like, what's up? Did you get cut? He goes, no, I quit. I'm like,
wow.
What? Yeah, he said that his job was football, and the other guy's job was to take his spot. And it was at all costs. And he's like, I just can't do this anymore. I was like, awesome. I'm happy for you. Great decision. Maybe let me know before I spend $2,500.
Sure.
And now I have to go and return about $1,000 worth of Calgary Stampeders gear that I just bought.
Did he ever pay you back?
No, I returned it.
Okay.
Did you wear this? Absolutely not.
Got it.
Other than to the game yesterday. When we come back, more Brewers talk. Dodgers in town. It's Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Mitch today. Stay here.
Weather on the Fan brought to you by Habish, and Rotier. 49 degrees and mostly cloudy here in Hales Corners. High of 65 today, 62 tomorrow, 75 Sunday, 83 on Monday. Here comes the warm weather.
I am an eternal optimist. So please, God, don't tell me that you're an eternal pessimist.
I like to say I'm a realist.
Oh, it's great. We're going to get along great. This is going to be great.
This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
Crowd is here, about to blow, waiting for me to start the show. Out the
For the LCS, and there goes Ohtani. Shohei lighting up the highlights already. Oh my goodness! Shohei Ohtani! Wow! Up and over the roof! A majestic blast! Ohtani drops jaws everywhere! Ohtani, did he? Ohtani! Ohtani has done it again! His third home run!
Yeah, a lot of home runs by Shohei Ohtani last NLCS.
Yeah.
Hopefully none this weekend.
I'm here for that. I agree.
Audio courtesy of BA on whatever network he was on. Don't remember. Don't care.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah. 4 quick games.
It's in the past.
Inside Wisconsin Sports on your radio, though, and on your YouTube and Twitter and Facebook, probably. Trevor Thomas and Mitch Thunder Nellis in for Josh this morning. What's up, Thunder?
What's up, Trev? It's 8 o'clock. It's like almost daytime now.
Yeah, the sun gets up early this time of year.
Yeah,
along with you and I today.
It was not up at 4:15. I'll tell you that.
It was up at like 4:35.
All right.
Oh God, the fact that we get up at 4 a.m. is just stupid. Love what I do.
Yes, but
boy, is that early.
Right, two things can be true. You can love what you do, and it can be stupid.
It's stupid early. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
This guy, stupid knowledgeable about the Milwaukee Brewers. He joins us every Monday and every Friday at 8 a.m. The one, the only Tim Allen, the franchise himself. Timmy, first things first here, bud. Yeah. I don't know how to look at this series in comparison to last year because we swept them and then we got curb stomped. So how do we as Brewers fans look at the regular season series against the Dodgers and not go, well, doesn't matter?
Yeah, well, you could look at it in a couple of different ways. One, you could say, well, it's a measuring stick. Well, if that's the case, the Brewers went 6-0 against the Dodgers last year. So they measured up quite well, or did they? As you just heard on the highlights. So I think it really is internally for the Brewers. Play your game, get on track, get a little more consistent. I think that's the way I would put it. This offense needs to be a little more consistent. They're going to be a good offense, but they need to get consistent. They've faced some really tough pitching so far this year. They faced a lot of aces. So when you look at some of the numbers, yeah, you say, well, they should hit more home runs, but as Murph would say, home runs are thrown. They're not hit. You throw a home run pitch, and you have to take advantage of it. But I would say this, that go after the series. And again, Trevor, and you know this, being on the air with you for the whole season a couple of times a week, get one of the next two games. I'm not going to freak out again over a loss tonight, but get one tonight or get one tomorrow, and that sets you up for Sunday to take that series. And that's how you become more consistent. That
makes sense to me. I just, it's such a bummer when this team in blue comes to Milwaukee, and we do what we do to them on the regular basis in the regular season. And you just can't help but get that sour taste out of your mouth from the last NLCS. Because if you statistically look, and we did this earlier in the show, Tim, if you look statistically in comparison to what the Brewers have done the last 9 games and compare that to the 6 games that the Brewers played the Dodgers in the regular season last year, the number of runs and number of hits on average is identical. That's crazy to me. So they're playing really, really well.
It's a good offense. I know a lot of people don't want to buy that right now. They are a good offense. I'm not saying great, but they're good. Look at the 19.5 run differential in that Cubs series. You take a look at doing that without Andrew Vaughn playing in 2 of those games.
Mm-hmm.
So you didn't even have one of your guys in there. This offense is going to get better in a couple of different ways. 1 would be put them in any order, I guess. 1 would be just a little more consistency, a few more reps. You got to remember they're a month behind with essentially 3 of their hitters. And then the other one would be roster moves. Do you think that this position player group is set for the rest of the year? Ain't no way this roster is on the offensive side is set. It could be as subtle as Akil Baddoo for Blake Perkins. It could be wholesale with Jet Williams getting the call, or Cooper Pratt getting the call, or Luis Lara getting the call. So, or a trade. I mean, all of those factors could come into play. Either one of them or all 3 of them could come into play. They're going to adjust as we move along here. The Joey Ortiz, lightning rod topic is starting to cool a little bit. Why? Because he's actually doing a few things. A few, yes, a few, not a lot. But this is if the offense. How much is anyone depending on Joey Ortiz to roll this offense? I don't think anybody is.
Literally nobody.
Yeah.
Okay. So that being said, whatever you get out of him offensively, and he is drawing a few walks here and there. He's slapping a base hit here and there. He is involved a little bit more. Now, again, that bar is low because, he hadn't been doing much of anything for quite some time, but any little bit is going to help this offense, and then let alone his defense. I mean, we can't bypass that in the conversation.
Tim Allen with us on the guest hotline powered by Gruber Law. Tim, let's dive a little bit more into that. And what's your opinion on the concept of, if it ain't broke, don't fix it? The Brewers are 11-2 in their last 13. Like Trevor's talked about how good they've been over the last 9. And with Joey Ortiz, Luis Rengifo, and David Hamilton as your left side of the infield, versus the concept of, what if Monday you just brought up Pratt and Williams and said, you're the shortstop and third baseman. You're going to play, Pratt's a Gold Glove in the minors. He's probably not quite as good as Ortiz in the field, but they both should hit better than what we're seeing. And just making a change because maybe it'll get better, but maybe, just because the pieces are better doesn't mean the team is better. Where do you fall in that concept of not messing with success?
Constant game of adjustments, Mitch. It's just a constant game of adjustments. Game 1 in Chicago on Monday, you blow them out 9-3. Everything's rolling. It seems to be pretty good chemistry offensively, and kabam, another lineup. I looked at the lineup Tuesday in the Miz game, and I went, well, why didn't you just keep it the exact same that you had last night?
Sure.
You're constantly adjusting. So to that point, it would be, it's a little bit more than righty-lefty splits, I think, for Murph. And that sabermetric lab that they have upstairs in the ivory tower, that tells you, well, that, even though Vaughn would face, there's not a lefty on the mound, so it's not favorable, lefty-righty split. Right. It's a righty up there, but the stuff he throws is a little different, and he finds a hole. He's pretty good at finding holes in the right-handed bat. So we're going to sit Vaughn. We're going to go with, someone else. So the constant adjustment, I'm into what you're saying, though, Mitch, on the left side of that diamond. They will make some changes. Subtle they might be, but even one player, I mean, even one, whether it's Jet Williams or Cooper Pratt, are you going to miss one of those guys on the left side of the diamond? For chemistry's sake, maybe. But in terms of production, you can't hardly get worse, guys. Yeah, I mean, it is abysmal, that left side of that diamond. When you look at especially the two players, Ortiz and Rengifo, Hamilton, yeah, I like Hamilton.
Me too.
I like him on the infield as a utility guy, much like I like Brandon Lockridge as a utility guy in the outfield. So I'm really, really happy with those two players, and watch that pay off down the line too. But the left side, Ortiz and Rengifo, the clock is ticking. The clock is definitely ticking on them. You can't allow it to go much later than June 1st, because I think that's fair. That's a fair sample size. Everyone talks about baseball measurements in long sections of time.
Yep.
Okay. A third of the season, is that time enough? I think so. So you're probably going to see some changes if they don't pick it up. I would think within the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about too. June 1st obviously seems to be that date of all right, probably going to make some changes here. And that falls on a part of the calendar, and Thunder brought this up earlier, in terms of who we play in that stretch, that's the time to do it.
Yeah, because you got Astros, Giants, and Rockies coming up. So that makes sense to debut some new guys against some lesser opponents, right, Tim?
And Cubs, Dodgers, Cardinals here in the gauntlet. You're right in the middle here. Now, again, think sample size here. We don't know what's going to happen in this next two series, Dodgers and Cardinals. Both playing good baseball, both decent teams. For now, we could say that about the Cardinals. Whether or not they tail off a little bit, we'll find out. But coupled with the Cub series, skip a series prior to that, the Yankees. So you have the Twins in there, but you have the Yankees in there. Measure it with that whole chunk of games. Yeah, you'll take it a series at a time, a game at a time. But measure these 9 games together. And so far, they're 3-0 in the Cubs, Dodgers, and Cardinals, three series run. Let's wait and find out. They come out 5-4 in this. I don't know. After starting out 3-0, maybe a little disappointing, yes. But how do you measure it? You look at it as the sample size, 9 games, 5-4. Well, against those teams, I think most teams would take that. Up 3-0, maybe you have a little different opinion. So I think win this series and see what happens against the Cardinals. You might be able to get greedy. You win this series here against the Dodgers, you'd be 5-1 against the Cubs and Dodgers heading into a home series holiday Monday against the Cardinals. So again, one day at a time, but don't freak out over the measurement scale after the 9 games.
Tim Allen joining us on Inside Wisconsin Sports. Trevor and Josh, Mitch, Thunder, Nellis in for Josh this morning. You mentioned it there, righty, lefty, righty, or lefty, righty, righty. The starting lineup in terms of the pitchers over the weekend here, Logan Henderson, Robert Gasser, Brandon Sproat. One of these things is not like the other. Yeah. When are we going to get Woody back? And are we worried about what Woody looks like here moving forward?
Whatever you can get out of him at this point, you just take it.
Sure.
And is he still helpful to the ball club? Yeah. Off the field, he sure is. And when he comes back, man, he's going to lay it all out there. 2 reasons. He wants to win. That's the first reason. But let's face it, he's a human being. And Trevor, Mitch, myself, what would we do if we're playing for big money?
Fight tooth and nail to get out there.
Everything.
Do everything it takes.
And that the Brewers could take advantage of. And that's okay. I mean, that's if that's your motivation. But most times pro athletes don't need motivation. Sometimes there's a win one for the Gipper, or a coach, lights you up a little bit, or there's, a rant going on or whatever it might be. But most times they don't need motivation. I would say that anywhere between, if Woody stays healthy the rest of the year, anywhere between 40 and $100 million on the line for Woody.
Yeah, that's wild. But much like Giannis, though, I mean, I think there's some other teams and fans feeling like, can we ever keep him healthy?
But the big spenders, they can chew on a lost contract like that. They can
take that risk.
They can. Whereas the Brewers, can they take a risk on, let's say, Rengifo, for example? And not that I want this to happen, because I'm a Rengifo guy. I think he deserves a lot better. You've been watching Rengifo all season long. You know he's the most unlucky hitter on that team by far. There's just no question. It might be the most unlucky hitter in the league. Anyway, can the Brewers afford to chew on a $3.5 million contract? I think the answer is yes, but it would be equivalent to a big spender, a big market team, to chew on a $15 million contract. I mean, look at Conforto. What was he, Dodger last year? They didn't care. 17 million, schmillion, whatever. They just move on.
I like that use of schmillion, by the way.
Schmillion.
But you see the point. That's the relative comparison here.
Yeah, that sounds so weird when you say that out loud, because it just puts the disparity into actual terms as if we didn't know that. But damn, that sucks.
And really, the collective bargaining agreement, the union versus the league, and all that, it's going to start heating up a little bit. I'm pleased to see that they actually met for the first time. The first time on May 12th. Hold on a second here. You know your union deal is up at the end of the year, and the league and you guys don't get together. I'll say this, I'll be hardcore about it.
Do it.
Yeah, let's do it
with money. We'll talk money. Forget about the owners. If you want to pay your guys less or more, then you buy a team. I'm talking to the fans here. That's the way this is set up. That's the way this works. You can't argue about your boss, how he doles out his payroll. That's up to him. And if you don't like it, then buy that business. And you can do this something different. I'll promise you. And I would hate to have a lockout and no baseball. But everybody that analyzes this game alleges that there will be one.
Yep.
But I will say this: you lock those players out, and I think a kind estimate would be 90% of those players, they will crawl back and beg for their jobs. They will crawl back to the owners and say, please, can I have my job back?
They don't want their job back, Tim. They want their paycheck back.
They want their paycheck. That's it. Okay, that's what I mean.
Yep.
Yes, They want their money back. And it's okay that, hey, I'm not going to chastise anybody for holding their hand out and someone puts money into it. For whatever talent you have, that's awesome. I do it. I do my job and I put my hand out and they give me money. That's kind of a cool deal. But there's a difference between a hog and a pig. And I think these players at times are being hogs, but I don't blame them for wanting and receiving. They get the money because people are willing to pay it out. But if it's not a fair product on the field, you can't tell me that some of these players don't go back home and in their private lives say, you know what? How in the world is this fair? I'm sitting here with a $60 million payroll in Cleveland. That's the whole team. And Soto is there in New York getting $61 million for himself. You think that's fair? The Dodgers, they defer more money than most people have payrolls. They pay in taxes more money than the payroll doled out for the Brewers.
Fair, no, but it's not their fault. We've talked about this before. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. I totally agree. It's the system, Trevor.
It is. You bet.
It is the system.
Right.
And I'm not against the players, not at all, guys. And I'm not necessarily for the owners. The only time I'll back the owners is, hey, man, they own the team. How many times are you going to walk into your boss's office and scream bloody murder? I'm going to walk out or else you got to pay me more money. What do you think is going to happen? There's going to be strife in either direction. There will be strife. Whether you're right or wrong, we can debate that. Are you a union guy or a non-union guy? Then does it get political? All of that. Forget about that. make the game as fair as you can, a floor. So a team like Cleveland doesn't say, you know what, we're going to hold off here and pay $62 million for the entire payroll. You can't do that. I mean, that's just not fair. That's not fair either.
All right, I've got one other thought. Tim Allen joining us here on Inside Wisconsin Sports. The Dodgers embarrassed the Brewers in the NLCS. That was embarrassing. Okay?
To a degree, yes. Yeah, I would agree.
What do you think about Logan Henderson putting one in the kneecap of the first batter with the first pitch tonight?
I do not condone violence in any way, shape, or form.
Okay, fine.
That's not the message you're sending?
No, I would not send that. I do believe in the players policing themselves, however. And so if someone gets a brush back, I think a brush back is warranted below the neck, always below the neck.
Agreed.
No matter what happens.
Yes, agreed.
I mean, the opposition could throw a bat at me, and I still wouldn't throw at his head. No, I think you learn from that. Look what happened in 24 against the Mets. And I remember Murph, subsequent to that, heart-wrenching, loss to the Mets in that series, saying, hey, they're going to learn from this. They're going to learn what it takes. Okay, what happened in the next year? Last year, they took that next step. They knew what it took to win a series, win a playoff series. You got to go. You got to hit. You got to pitch. You got to field. Hopefully they learned from the Dodgers series last year. You can't have William Contreras going 1 for 13.
Right.
You can't have Bryce Terang going 1 for 14. You can't have Christian Yelich again another year without knocking in a run. You just they're going to learn from that. I truly believe that. And Henderson, when you mention Henderson, just keep doing what you're doing. You keep your team in a game. It's funny we might be looking at the rotation, 3 rotation members of the 27 rotation, along with Miz and Harrison. We don't know. But Murph said, we're going with our young guys, and we're not afraid to do it. That's playing with some conviction. It is.
Well,
it really is.
And Tim, you talk about that and the way Miz and Harrison are pitching, and I'm not quite ready to put Henderson in that group, but he's been very solid. I know that the Brewers lost to the Dodgers in the playoffs last year because the offense went completely stagnant.
But the pitching wasn't that bad.
The pitching wasn't that bad,
Right.
but the pitching was kind of a mess from the beginning in the playoffs, with Woody getting hurt and Ashby getting the start, and then Priester not starting.
It was
funky. And then it was funky. If you could bottle what Harrison and Miz are right now and tell me that's who they're going to be in October, that's
totally different series.
Totally different, right?
Without question.
Yeah.
I mean, these two are 2 of the best right now. And again, sample size, everybody, warning. Right. It's 40 whatever games. You just passed the quarter turn. Let's see a few more. But yes, if that series were to happen right now, and you had Miz and Harrison going in games 1 and 2, I think you might come out with a little different outcome. And look at the 4, 5, 6 hitters. That game 1 in Chicago. That 4, 5, 6, that was Yelich, Vaughn, and Bowers. That's a whole lot different than what it was last year.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Really
All right, Timmy. I'm kind of annoyed that neither of you took my rage bait there. Thanks a lot.
No, it was good. It was good.
It was a fine conversation.
It's May 22nd.
Listen, we hate the Cubs. Everybody knows this.
Yes.
The Cardinals, our division opponents. Mitch and I were talking earlier that if we don't, we should hate the Dodgers just as much. And there's a piece of me that want the Dodgers to know we're fed up with it and we're done. And now
we thought
it's
we
getting
had
real.
that,
I almost
last year was 6-0. We really did. Oh, at least I did. But I mean, we'll see. I mean, the Dodgers, what are you going to do, man? They're talented up and down that lineup. What are you going to do? You play your game and go at them.
You go out tonight and Logan Henderson gets the ball and you play baseball.
And you keep them in the game. Logan Henderson tonight, I'm good with 5 1/3, a 3-run ball.
Yeah.
What I do know from that outing, it's not a great outing. It keeps my baseball team in a game. That's the deal there. Just do what you normally have been doing here this year. The pitching's been outstanding. It's been better than outstanding. It really has. If it were a little worse, I'd still be pleased with it. Get to that 5-6 inning range. Make sure it's 3 runs or less, either combined or with one pitcher. You're in every game you do that, and that's the way the Brewers have been winning.
Nice. After the last pitch, make the switch.
We always do. I had the
always
chance to listen to the entire thing on the way home from the game last week, and it was amazing. So do so tonight, and the rest of these games, make the switch. Timmy, we appreciate you. I don't know that we're going to chat on Monday, are we? Maybe we get to chat on Tuesday. We'll see how it shakes out.
Trevor, I don't think you're in on Monday, are you?
No,
I am
on Monday.
It's Thunder and Charlie.
You two
So
take
Tim,
it.
we got you on Monday.
Sure, you got me if you need me.
Awesome.
Right.
Thanks, brother.
Have a great weekend. Go Crew.
See you guys.
Tim Allen joining us on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. It's a What's Up Wisconsin weekend when we get back, Memorial Day weekend style. What are you guys up to this weekend? I can tell you where I'm going to be, and it's dishing out some Pep's Pizza at a community event, and I can't wait.
Nice.
We'll hear what Mitch is up to. We'll hear what you're up to when we get back inside Wisconsin Sports. The Crew is coming off a sweep of the Cubs, and do we welcome the Dodgers to American Family Field or tolerate that they're here? They're here this weekend. Get ready for game one of the series with Tommy Wartz and the leadoff show tonight at 5 here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. The studio is powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, the show inside Wisconsin sports. Trevor Thomas, Josh Albrecht, Mitch Thunder Nellis in for Josh this morning.
I always knew I could be inside Wisconsin sports.
Yeah,
literally, I'm inside Wisconsin sports.
Catchy name, huh?
I like it. I think it'll stick.
A Wisconsin weekend upon us, Memorial Day style. What are you guys up to this weekend? Where are you going to be? What are you doing? 414-677-1250. The Nicolay Law talk and text line. Mitch, what are you up to?
I got everything. Tonight, there's a softball dinner. So Big Rumble team dinner. Playoffs start on Tuesday. It's not going to go well. We've had a rough season, but that's okay. Tomorrow, I have a friend's bat mitzvah, so big party tomorrow night. Sunday, we do our annual barbecue at Estabrook Park in Shorewood Beer Garden. Everybody's invited. 3:00. Show up. We'll have some beer. And then Monday, I do my annual tailgate. Every year, if the Brewers are in town, we go to tailgate. We start at 11:00, and we do. The reason I said about Malott Meats, I was wondering if they had breakfast meats, because we do a breakfast tailgate. So we do lots of breakfast sausages. We do eggs on the grill, like in frying pans. We have people bring like French toast casserole and stuff like that. That's ready to go. But we do a breakfast brunch tailgate on Memorial Day. 30-person tailgate. Let's go.
I love that. We've brought the flat top grill, the Blackstone.
We need one of those. We don't have a portable one of those yet, but we need one.
We have one, and it's the greatest thing on earth. We have a fixated one here for the garage / patio, and then we also have we got one for spring break earlier this year, and we took it.
That makes sense.
They're absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
I love breakfast food. I specifically love doing that for a tailgate. Yeah. That's awesome. Damn, I wish I didn't have something going on Monday now. I'd totally crash your tailgate.
You're invited.
Well, I know I am. I appreciate that, and I'll be doing what I'm doing all weekend on my end. So here in Northeast Wisconsin, where I live, and specifically in our community of De Pere, there are festivals that run throughout the summer.
Yes.
2 in particular that I'm involved with. One is Celebrate De Pere, and that's this weekend.
Okay.
I'm a part of a nonprofit group here called the Pink Flamingos.
Yes.
Started as a softball thing, turned into this incredible community organized events, and all we do is get together and give, and it's just the greatest thing ever. This weekend, and Celebrate De Pere is all about that. The Celebrate De Pere community and the committee get everybody together, listen to live music, eat great food, ride some rides, have a blast, and then they give it all away, and it's just fantastic.
So cool.
There's a supporter of these events here in Northeast Wisconsin, and you can find the pizzas statewide. Pep's Pizza, Pep's Draft House Pizza.
Yep.
We have the Pink Flamingo Pep's Draft House Pizza tent.
Ooh.
And literally in 25 minutes, I will leave this building, drive to Celebrate De Pere, make sure that we have everything ready so that when it begins tomorrow morning, we are set for the Pink Flamingo Pep's Pizza tent all weekend long.
What is your pizza of choice? If you
pepperoni, man,
just straight pepperoni, like
in terms of what we'll offer this weekend, if I had to choose, it's the pepperoni.
Nice.
But I at any other time am a thin crust, legit pizza guy.
Okay.
Pepperoni mushroom is the one that I would choose to make if I had the ability.
Yep.
Absolutely love pizza though, and it will single-handedly keep me alive this weekend.
I love that. Big Rumble, who I aforementioned, who on the softball team, pepperoni's her favorite as well. So I should send her up, and she should buy 97 different slices of pepperoni pizza from me.
Love that. Well, if you're here in Northeast Wisconsin, whether it's Big Rumble or you or whoever, stop by the pizza tent. I'm the tall ball guy. Say hello. I will literally miss. Yeah, don't blend in well. I will literally be there from sun up to sundown every single day, all weekend long. It's our second favorite weekend of the year. The number one, obviously, being the Pink Flamingo weekend coming in July. But it's a blast. And so much of what this weekend is about is memorial.
Yes.
And so there's this beautiful service in memoriam that happens on Monday down at Voyager Park in De Pere, which is where Celebrate De Pere is. And it's a great weekend to just get together, have great food, great drinks, great community, and remember.
Remember our veterans and those who passed. And made the ultimate sacrifice. Stephen Richfield writes in on the text line, Nicolay Law Talking text line 414-677-1250, selling poppies for the Grafton American Legion to support the vets.
I love that.
And I know a lot of people, I think, I'm not sure. I know Monday there's a ceremony in Whitefish Bay, and we all know I'm a big Bay guy. Because I'm hosting the show on Monday, and then I'm getting to AmFam Field. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get to the ceremony. I usually walk over and watch that ceremony, and I know they do a great job. And most, if not all, of our communities around the state of Wisconsin do something over the weekend, probably specifically on Monday, to honor not just our veterans, but those who made the ultimate sacrifice. It's Memorial Day, and those who passed, and may all their memories be for a blessing.
Jacob in a van. Sunday is the greatest day of racing.
Okay.
The Indy 500. Also, the Canadian Grand Prix for F1.
Okay.
And to top it off, the Coca-Cola 600 for NASCAR. Plus, it's the last Arsenal soccer game, which they won the Premier League for the first time in 22 years. And, of course, Brewers-Dodgers.
My buddy Brent, who I will see with his family at the tailgate on Monday, he and his two sons are going to the Indianapolis 500 on Sunday. So, Brent, I'm not going to tell you to drive safe because you're an adult. Drive like an adult. Whatever that means to you. I don't tell people to drive safe. I tell people to drive like an adult. Drive how you want to drive.
Yeah, you should have seen the text message I had with the 16-year-old boy this morning.
Oh.
This Life 360 thing is going to be his demise.
Yes, because you know where he is. Because every time he stops for fast food, you know.
Well, it also tells you when you drive like a a-hole, you also...
Do they do scores out of 100?
No, but they give you these risk events.
Oh, okay.
Or speed events, or hard braking is another one. And he insists that Life 360 has it all wrong.
No.
And now,
bro, you're wrong.
Out of the last, I've told him loud and clear,
nice.
All caps via text this morning. And I said, dude, Life 360 said you touched your phone 10 because it literally tells you when there's phone usage.
Just get a dashboard mount because then I touch my phone while I'm driving, which I shouldn't, and I know that. But at least I have a dashboard mount so that the phone doesn't move.
He got his license less than a month ago. Don't touch it. Right. Don't touch it.
No.
Like, I understand you're a good driver. You know what makes you a good driver? You pay attention.
That's
you know when you're not paying attention, you're touching your phone. And so I light him up like a Christmas tree via text this morning. And he goes right to my wife, Dad's yelling at me. I don't go on my phone. But then he said in his next breath, which is totally incriminating, I just forget to lock it because I'm playing music. Ha ha. You're touching your phone.
Right. You clearly weren't touching your phone. 4 and 4 writes in, I live just outside of Nashville. We're going to the Cosmic Globe baseball game where the Sounds play. And then a weekend of Suns travel baseball schedule and just hanging out and chillaxing. Travel, I feel like travel should be off for Memorial Day weekend. That's it. Like play some rec league games at home, but don't put the travel weekend. Like that should be like either family time or we should respect Memorial Day or whatever that is. I don't love a travel tournament on a long weekend.
Yeah, this is the old, I don't like it when people get married on holiday weekends either.
Oh, I hate it. I hate it.
Me too.
Yes, I'm there with you on that one.
And I've stood up in weddings on a holiday weekend.
Same. I've also skipped a couple.
Of my life.
I've skipped a couple. Yeah. I had a buddy get married in outside of Detroit. And I was like, I'm not coming. Like that's a weekend that I already have plans for. I'm not coming.
Life 360, great app. The whole family uses it. Yeah, us too. But tell the 16-year-old it's a great app. It doesn't exist.
We use Greenlight. Should we be using? I mean, it's the same thing. Greenlight, it manages your finances and it has tracking. That's why I asked about it out of 100 because like every time she's in the car, I can see what the rating was. And I also get events like heartbreaking and stuff. But
I have no endorsement with Life 360, but I do enjoy the app. I believe it is a phenomenal piece of information to have when your teenage sons have cell phones that you pay for.
Yep, I agree.
If you don't want me tracking your life,
very similar, and I think it works just So we're not endorsing either of them. We just enjoy what we enjoy, and we know what we know.
414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law Talk in text line. What are you up to this weekend in Wisconsin for Memorial Day weekend? We reached that point, by the way, in our life. Maybe you've reached it too, where we no longer, at this time anyway, it'll change when our kids get to that age and their buddies and family friends and so on. outside of immediate family, which there's nobody in my immediate family that's getting married anytime soon.
Fair.
We
Same.
have now given ourselves permission to say, thanks for the invite, not coming. Now, I'm not
Ooh.
saying that's not a carte blanche.
Yeah.
We will pick and choose, but
Okay. Yep.
I just, no, thanks. Thank you.
Yep.
Here's a card.
Mhm.
Have a great time. My wife hates meaningless small talk.
Okay. Okay.
So that's where that comes from.
Like, I assume she likes showing up for people, but she just thought, like, if it's
that's what she does best.
if it's a meaningful event, she's going to want to be there. But if it's kind of like a lesser event, you're saying it's like a random dinner where random people are going to be there, and you're going to have to like be that small talk person where it's a little uncomfortable, and it's really like someone's like half birthday. I'm not coming to your half birthday, bro. Like, relax.
Right. Exactly. Hey, what's not meaningless small talk? This crossover segment with 9 to noon. John Kuhn, Rami Makloff, flip a quarter. We never know who we're going to get. But stay tuned.
Yeah. Be Snizzle.
It's worth it. Who?
Be Snizzle.
Today?
Nah, I don't know. I have no idea. I just like saying Be Snizzle.
We don't know either. Do you know who we have?
I don't.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll figure it out in the next 5-ish minutes. 9 to noon. John Kuhn, Rami Makloff. We'll chat with them coming up next. We're live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
One desire to take me away.
Did you know any youth sports player can score a free small classic Frosty anytime they visit Wendy's in their sports uniform? That's right. Just stop by after practice or with your team after a game. Who doesn't love a Frosty? You can dress your kid up in their sports uniform every single day all summer, and it's free Frosties all summer long. Let's go.
Let's go. Free Frosties all summer long.
Why not?
Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Mitch Thunder Nellis in for Josh today. And joining us now, one and only John Kuhn from 9 to Noon with John Kuhn and Rami Makloff. Kuhn, I heard you were with the Claymaker last night. Tell us what you guys were up to.
We were signing autographs and taking pictures.
Kissing babies.
Pretty much.
Did you kiss a baby?
No babies at this party.
Adult? Was it an adult-only party?
It was a function for an insurance group. Obviously a team building type of situation. And we were brought in at the end of the night as a kind of thank you and a welcome to Lambeau. A lot of them from all around the state of Wisconsin, Iowa, Michigan. So people from all walks of the Midwest, mostly Packer fans. I'd say like 95% of them were Packer fans, which made it a lot of fun, and also a lot of fun the 5% that weren't, because we got to talk a little bit of smack.
Love that. I love that.
I had some friends in town actually that were there last night. Went out to lunch with them yesterday afternoon, and they said, "Yeah, we're going to meet John Kuhn and Clay Matthews." And I was like, "Well, I met one of those guys, not the other one yet. Someday, I guess.
One day."
What are you doing for the Memorial Day weekend, John?
Hanging around. I still got to work on my cottage. I still got problems with the with the weather from this spring, so I'm trying to fix that stuff up. Might head up there and get a little bit of work done on that front. But other than that, cooking out, maybe a little golf, maybe playing some basketball with my girls in the driveway to try and get them to make this A team coming up this winter. So, the typical dad stuff.
Celebrate De Peers this weekend if you decide to stay in town. Lots of live music in our community. We maybe say hi at the Pep's Pizza tent if you so chose.
Oh, you're at a tent? You're at a Pepsi tent?
No, Pep's Pizza.
Pep's Pizza.
Yeah,
even
Pep's Draft House
better,
Pizza.
right?
We're working the tent for the Pink
Pepsi
Flamingos.
together make a nice little lunch.
They do. What's the number one project at the cottage, John?
Well, drywalling.
Do you drywall?
Whoa, you had floods?
Yeah, we had all kinds of stuff going on. This spring's weather has been, it's been kind of wild, right? When you go all the way back to March 16th and you think about that 2.5 feet of snow, 3 feet up in Door County that hit northeast Wisconsin, and then follow that up with a week of like 70 degrees with all the melting, and then the crazy about 12 inches of rain that we got at the beginning of April. It's been a hot mess around northeast Wisconsin.
Man, that's crazy. What's coming up on the show? I'm assuming some Dodgers-Brewers chat. Big weekend in Milwaukee.
Yeah, we'll get into that preview a little bit. Is it truly a David versus Goliath? I say yes. Rami says no. Brandon will be taking over for Rami for the most part here today. Eastern Conference Final snoozer. Are the Knicks destined to finally get out of the basement that they've been in for about 30 some years? And Giannis still hasn't been traded, and it's making it weird around Milwaukee.
Yeah,
it is making it weird. It's like he's out and about in the community. I can't tell if he's like trying to say how loyal he is to Milwaukee, or if this is like a farewell tour.
Oh, I feel like we know.
I know. It feels like, right? It feels like a farewell tour, right?
We'll have to listen and find out.
Oh, I like that tease. Nicely done, John.
9 to noon.
Yeah.
John Kuhn, Rami Makloff, Brandon Snide in for Rami today. Coming up next here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Johnny, have a great weekend, man.
Thanks, you too, guys.
Brewers, Dodgers, Memorial Day, the big tailgate that you've got going on. Tim Allen joins us. You guys are in on Monday morning. I appreciate you being in a holiday for that. I kind of wish you were off.
Yeah, it's kind of weird that we're doing a morning show. No one's driving to work on Monday morning. I don't know who's going to be listening, but the powers that be make the decisions that the powers that be make.
I was asked, and I was like, no.
Yeah, I'm much more stupid than you.
No, I had
exponentially.
If I had literally nothing, I would have.
I have to be at home at 10:30 to get the tailgate stuff ready and going, but before that, I'm okay.
Good. All right. Well, tune in Monday for Charlie and Mitch Thunder Nellis. statewide here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. The studios powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. The show Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Everyone have a safe and remember, okay, this weekend, Memorial Day weekend. We'll see you Monday morning.
Have a good one, Trev. And we're not done yet.